Come on. Okay, I think we're feeding out to the people out there. Let's see. Yeah, yes, it looks like we are. All right, let me start with this. Let me remind everyone to go to the hankstrange.com, sign up for our email list there, look around. Lola's got Lola's deals that she's putting up. If you check out the Strangerholics tab, that's where you find all the different platforms we're on. As a matter of fact, I think that even YouTube/Strangerholics is where we're putting all the videos that YouTube is demonetizing, the gun videos that YouTube is demonetizing from the main channel. We'll talk about all of that here as we get into this. You are, of course, listening and watching the Who Moved My Freedom podcast, the most prolific Second Amendment podcast in the universe. In the universe. So we're gonna get into this. We've got some good guests tonight. It is Wednesday. Why is my AC still coming on? Gotta shut the AC off. I totally forgot that. All right, it'll shut off. So just forgive me for the AC there for a second. Let's go to the open right now and get right into this. But by the way, big shout out to Franklin Armory. Thanks to them for sponsoring the show. Let's do this.
Welcome back to the Hank
All right, guys,
situation.
make sure you smash that subscribe button, smash the thumbs ups, ring the bell so you can be notified when we go live. I don't know if anyone has a bell. I got this one. Ding-a-ling-a-ling. There you go. We are live. You guys know how we do this. Come on, let's see the jazz hands. Come on, let's see Josh, Big Josh, everyone doing jazz hands. Come on, look at those jazz hands going. There you go. Big Josh is doing it. Alaskan Ballistics is doing it. We are live. I hope you guys have your big girl panties on. This is episode 788 of the Who Moved My Freedom podcast. Like I said, man, we're prolific. We're prolific with this, son. Our guests are Big Josh of Black Diamond Guns and Gear. There he goes, Big Josh. So what's up? What's up? If you guys don't know this, I learned this because the last time I saw Josh was at the Iraq veteran event. Not only is his partner in crime over there Little Josh, but apparently, Big Josh, your brother's name is Josh.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys are very creative over there in your family. I just gotta say.
No, he's my stepbrother, but yeah, we've been brothers for a long time, so it just kind of stuck.
Yeah, I actually met him. He was out there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So and then I heard there's other cousins named Josh. It's just a thing. Is that true? Is that
Yeah.
someone just making that
Happens
up?
every now and then.
Oh, okay. we also have Chuck of Alaskan Ballistics joining us. What's going on, man?
Not a whole lot. How you doing, man?
Good. This is the first time you guys have been on together. I don't know if you guys know each other, if you watch each other's stuff. Maybe. I
know of him, and I've seen the channel. So.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
Boom.
I've seen him I think we even shook hands at the Iraq Veteran 88 shoot.
Probably,
sure.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, you were out. You were out there, right?
Yeah, I was out there.
I totally
made the long cross-continental flight.
Oh,
so.
Yes, I did.
Oh
see
yeah,
you.
because I was asking you. I was like, "Man, did you drive here all the way from Alaska?" And you're like, "Oh."
Yes, I remember that now. That was somehow blocked out of my. That was cool. It was good. So that was the first time we ever met, then.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of fun meeting everybody there, seeing you and Lola and Flying Rich and everybody there. It was just great.
Yeah. Please tell me you're not part of the squadron, please. Just don't tell me.
What's the squadron?
Oh, good. You're good now. Yeah, Flying Rich has this squadron, quote unquote, that he came up with since. You know what? Here's the problem. I coined the term squadron for them, and I should have never done it. So now they think they're all that. So yeah, it's
all that and a bag of potato chips.
I'm telling you, man, they are out of control with that. But okay, cool. Yeah, so we were all at IV 8888. Favorite memories? Who's got good memories from there? Who wants to? I don't know.
Man, I honestly, like, everybody goes down to shoot all kinds of guns and stuff like that, but to be honest with you, we shoot a lot, and we just go down there to hang out with everybody. I mean, I shot a couple things. It wasn't like, a ton of stuff. I probably shot maybe, I don't know, a couple handguns, a couple rifles, and that was it. Like, I was pretty much just hanging out with everybody and doing my thing. Mm-hmm. But that's my favorite part, is actually getting to hang out with everybody. at all the different places, and
Mm-hmm.
you know, the after party or whatever you want to call it, get-togethers, whatnot. That's the funnest part for me going down there.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that. I agree with you, man. I don't really go there to shoot guns, and you know, there's a lot of badass guns out there, without a doubt.
Yeah.
You know, it's always a thing, but especially with the crazy ass year we had, it was so awesome to just run into gun guys and sit down and kick it. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you say to that, Alaskan? What was your favorite moment, or what do you think about that?
Well, the guns were a lot of fun because I've only shot a few machine guns before that day, so they were a lot of fun. But yeah, I totally agree. Meeting you and Lola and 2AE to you and Josh here and Jared from Guns and Gadgets and I don't know who else I met that just Guns&Gear and Adam Kraut and talking with all the GOA people and all the CMMG people and just meeting all those people and just realizing that these are really good people and these are the kind of people we want standing up for the amendment and stuff like that. And so yeah, the people was the main thing for me as well, but the guns were kind of cool. I like that KP-44 that what's his name, the guy that works at Brandon Herrera, he had out there, the millimeter, what is it, Mad Custom Arms. He had a KP-94.
Describe that to me.
It was a World War II like submachine gun.
Oh, okay.
The KP-44 on it, and
there's so much stuff I missed, man.
Yeah,
because I was just like talking,
just hanging with dudes.
There's tons of stuff I missed. So, like somebody was like, "Oh, you didn't see the Stuff and Things binary Glock trigger," and I was like, "No."
Yes. Who was it that had the binary Glock trigger? That is that JSD Supply?
Stuff and Things.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I didn't even see that one. So.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
They had all kinds of cool stuff out there. Apparently, Stuff and Things is a new company. I'm pretty sure they're a new company. And they've sent us like a Scorpion. You can't grab that right now. But there was a Scorpion Evo part that they sent us for an adapter for a grip for it.
Oh, sweet.
And yeah, it's pretty cool. And they got some really cool stuff, innovative stuff. And they're a new company, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And I think they're from Indiana, I want to say.
Oh, okay.
I'm not 100% on that. But they're a cool company, and they got a bunch of cool stuff. And I didn't even know they had a booth there until afterwards.
Yeah. It's called Stuff and Things?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
I must have missed it.
Yeah, I think I thought JSD Supply had a binary trigger at their table also. Or maybe, I don't know if they were doing that collaboratively. Because I thought they had a binary Glock trigger also. What was that? I know I heard about a binary Glock trigger. Maybe it was Stuff and Things that I heard about that from. There were some just badass stuff there. I think this wasn't... You guys were talking about Guns and Gadgets. This wasn't even the first time I saw him, but I did see him there. I think I've seen him a couple times.
Yeah, the first time I ever met Jared was at the Gundies, actually. That's the first time I ever met him.
Right. So you were at the Gundies, so we've seen each other this year other than that then. Yeah,
in January, yeah.
Yeah. So I know I saw him there, and then I could swear I saw him somewhere else. But
he's a really good dude. He's really humble. I was really surprised at how humble and nice he is. He's just really good dude.
He's staying really busy too.
He does really good getting all that stuff out there before everybody else does, and I think that's really cool.
Yeah. I would agree with that. Here's my story of what I saw. Check this out, Alaskan Ballistics. I was at the show. All of a sudden, this big dude with like no shirt on and tattoos all over just comes, lumbering out at me. I was like, oh no, what's gonna happen? Guess who it was? Big Josh. Big Josh was walking. He was on his super sexy.
Yeah, it got hot, man. It was like 100 degrees out there.
Yeah.
I was like, well, this is what happened. So I spilt mustard on my shirt from the burger. And I was like, man, I am not doing a video or something with this thing on my shirt. So I went ahead and just took it off. And I ended up getting another rain shirt. And I was going to cut the sleeves off of it. And Brandy was like, no, don't do that. she said, I'm not letting any of the gun buddies come out here without any tank tops on and stuff. So I'm not letting you do it. And I was like, all right.
Yes. She was not lying. Yeah. That is not a lie. Brandy was on point. No one was getting away with anything. I know.
They're doing it again in October, right?
I think so. Yeah, I think they are. Yeah, I'm probably not gonna make that one. I'm glad I made this one. I think by the time we get around to October, there's a whole bunch of road trips that I'll be on at that time. But yeah, that was fun. I had a lot of fun there. It was good to see you, man. You were on your now. Now you messed it up by telling me that. I thought you were just on your super sexy. You know, I was like, man, Josh is the sexiest big dude around.
Might as well just take it off, you know.
Yeah, you know, he just had his swagger on. He wasn't even trying to like hide it or anything. He's just like, yo, man, this is how I roll. Just get out my way, son.
As soon as I did that, and she gave me that shirt, I went over there to the MMG tent, and I was like, I might as well do a slow motion video of me shooting that MK47 without my shirt on, and so I did that too. That was pretty cool.
Oh, wait, you got away with that, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay. You are probably the only person that got away with anything like that at that event. I'm just gonna tell you that right now. You know, Brandy might still catch up to you over that one. You never know. I actually witnessed her scream. I'm not gonna say who or what exactly happened, but I did witness her putting someone in check, and I was like, I'm not here right now.
Man, I don't doubt it, man. Brandy's firecracker. She knows exactly what she's doing.
Oh yeah. Oh yes. I get in trouble with Brandy every single time I see her.
That's funny.
So all right, cool. Let's see. I don't know if there's any questions for you guys out here yet. Let's see. Okay, Flying Rich says JSD had the binary. Jen Champ Jr. says JSD had the prototype binary. Okay. Yeah, so there might have been that might have been a collaboration thing.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I want to find out about stuff and things though in Indiana. I know I was in Indiana like a month ago or something, and I actually like it up there, man. I'm going back. That was my first time.
The only time I went to Indiana was for the NRA show.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, obviously, I've been there for that, but I've never, other than NRA, I've never hung out in Indiana before until like a month ago. Yeah, that was.
I think Opie's from Indiana originally.
Opie, who are we talking about?
Yeah, Opie and the Smokies.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, he's originally from Indiana.
Yeah. So one of the things that, and we should probably get into this. I think we were talking a little bit about this behind the scenes. The YouTubes. And how the YouTubes are treating everyone. I know Alaskan Ballistics, you just recently got demonetized, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you want to tell us what's the deal there? You know,
sure.
Bring us up to speed.
I opened, like I do every morning, I open my YouTube Studio app on my phone, and none of the dollar signs were there. They weren't green or yellow or nothing. They just weren't there. Never got an email, nothing. Logged in on my computer, your channel is no longer eligible for monetization for dangerous and harmful content and links. I don't have any links on my channel. I don't have any dangerous harmful content. So I, they did monetize me a few weeks later, or like a week and a half later. So everything's good now. It just, that was a rough week because we're depending on that money to pay medical bills and stuff like that because we're on a pretty strict budget. And it was a rough week. I mean, my dog died and my YouTube demonetized me. If my wife had left me, I'd have a country song.
Oh man, so, sorry to hear that about your dog, man. That's that's
thank God. But my wife said she was stuck with me. So anyway, yeah.
Oh, hey.
So there's that.
That's a good thing. Yeah.
But it's just really disappointed. I mean, I'd like to say it's leftist hate. But they do it to a lot of different channels that aren't gun channels. And, one of the science and futurism channels and science fiction channels I watch, that he's created with other, he's created his own streaming service so that he doesn't have to deal with YouTube algorithms as well, and along with a bunch of other creators. And I think they got picked up by Curiosity Stream or something like that. And so, like, it is everybody. I would like to say, leftist hate. But, it probably is to some extent, probably some zealous reviewer said, ooh, he's got a link to a fire starter kit that he makes money off of. That's guns, and or whatever. flag me for that or a rifle scope or something. But I never sold guns or ammo or anything like that on the channel. Never had any links like that. And so anyway, CloverTac, shout out to him. He probably worked his behind the scenes magic and that. I also have a good friend channel. He's more of a prepping channel, but he does a lot of gun stuff. Talks about prepping situations. Magic Prepper. He just got demonetized at 60,000. So he's working on it too. So I mean, he's just been, and he went to full. He was making enough money to where he's going full on. Him and his wife are both living off their two digital worlds right now. And he had a restaurant business he was starting. He quit that because he was just doing better on YouTube. And so he was actually depending on the money, if I'm not mistaken. So he's a good person to go check out. He's a really good guy.
What's the name?
Magic Prepper.
Magic
Prepper.
He texted,
he texted me like 2 days after I got mine back. He texted me and was like, "How did you get your back?" And I said, "Call your senator and call CloverTac. Here you go."
Right. I'm pretty sure it was CloverTac. I don't know if you know what CloverTac did, or if we could find out from CloverTac. Maybe we can see what it was he did or how he managed to get that to happen.
Yeah, he has a friend that works at YouTube of some kind that he made through the process of getting striked or something like that, that I know about. And that's all I know about. I'm probably not supposed to even tell you that much.
But for all you know, it could be the Munchkin Mafia, man. Who knows? You know? There's a bunch of other mafias out there. Okay, if CloverTac hears that, I'm going to deny that I ever said it. But
once you get to a certain amount of numbers or a certain amount of subs, you get like a representative or something like that from YouTube.
Yes, if you get, but that's a big number, and I don't know where Clover is at right now. But I think that number where you actually get like a personal representative is something like 1 million or something like that. It's big.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah,
I heard 100,000 before, but it might have been up to 1 million.
Yeah, I'm over 100,000. I don't have one. So
okay.
Boss Hog says, yeah, they demonetized Roman Atwood for dangerous stuff and having his kids on the channel. Kids were never in danger. Roman Atwood is huge. That's a huge channel. Roman Atwood, one of the. I don't know if you guys are aware of who Roman Atwood is. I
haven't watched it.
He is one of the biggest YouTube channels, or was one of the biggest YouTube channels out there for a long time. He's probably in the top 10. I mean, he's got movies and things like that are out. But he's also good friends with Demo Ranch. That's where I met Roman Atwood, through Demo Ranch at SHOT Show. So he used to do a lot of prank videos.
A lot of the guys that do like the ads and stuff that they have on their, I guess, their videos where they support them, do they not monetize their videos at all? Because when I monetize my videos, it's basically like it's automatically limited. Like there's no maybe it'll be unlimited. Like no, it's always limited. There's never a green ever.
I can tell you a trick with that.
Okay.
So you're going to have to plan on sacrificing a few videos, but you're not making any money off of them anyway, so why not, right? You have a rating. They used to show the rating. Mine was up to 97%. But you have a rating where you self-rate, and that rating based on the number of yellow that you get correct. Not the number of yellow, percentage of yellow versus green. It's the number of yellow that you get correct. So if you rate yours when you go in and submit it, if you rate ones that are anywhere questionable in your mind compared to their standards, me and you both know that compared to the Second Amendment and the First Amendment, all of their YouTube stuff is crazy, right? But compared to their standards, if it's questionable in your mind that you might have said, hey, go buy this gun today, all right? Well, that's pushing gun sales, and even though you didn't put a link down there, they might put it at yellow or demonetize the video completely. You mark it yellow. Don't let them do it. You do it. And as you do that, and I went back and did all my live streams and did any video it would let me mark yellow. And I was able to raise mine to 97% at some point. Okay. And since then, they have turned 2 videos yellow on me. Which were dumb, but those videos weren't growing anyway, so it didn't really matter.
Well,
But
so are you
I can,
claiming all of your videos as being firearms related content?
yes,
Okay.
yes, ma'am.
Yeah. I mean, because
Unless I
I
do,
do that. I do that with every video that has a gun in it, and they still
Yeah.
hit those videos and go. I mean, there's nothing else in there. We're not cursing. We don't talk like in the gun. The place where we talk about politics is here on the podcast. So I already separated that out. So we're not talking politics. Where except if it's about the Second Amendment, which I guess maybe to them that's a thing.
right.
But all we're doing is showing the guns and shooting them. But I'm having
Yeah.
the same problem as Josh. Every single video that we pull a trigger on gets demonetized, which is a lot of videos.
Absolutely. Like
Yeah.
without a doubt, like every one of them's like that on mine. You could actually look at my page or whatever. A lot of people study the algorithms and study how to, like Jonathan from Tactical Toolbox, man. He's
Right.
like
Yeah.
a whiz on them,
Mhm.
and he just knows how to do everything. And I, for one, have never looked at any of that. I don't look at analytics. I don't look when to put up videos. I literally just do it as we do it. And if it comes out and it gets limited, it's limited. If it comes out and gets demonetized, it's demonetized. So, I mean, me and Josh both still work 40-hour jobs. Like, this is our side gig, basically. And I mean, we've kind of treated it that way. Now, I know a lot of people aren't like that, and I could probably make it a lot better. But I'll be honest with you, I do all the social media stuff. I do all of the uploading, all the editing, all that stuff. Josh is here as support, and he knows the knowledge about firearms. Like, I know about guns, but he really knows about guns.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just a guy that likes to shoot stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, I do all this stuff, and I just don't have time to look at it all. And I probably should, because I could probably do a lot better than what I do now.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
If you will sacrifice and mark your own videos yellow for a while, and any ones that they mark yellow, take down and re-upload them and mark them yellow yourself. All
Okay,
right?
that's
how do you
interesting.
mark them
Then your
yellow?
percentage
Because
goes
all
up.
I do is hit that it has firearm content in it. I make sure I tell it that.
Well,
it
I
has
guess you
firearm
have to hit
content.
some other tags on it, or you have to.
So do you guys have the self what is it, the self monetization, self guidelines, or self check system? I forgot what they call it exactly.
Yeah, I think we all have that. Everyone. So I can give you guys a little bit of insight on this. When I first started doing Stranger Palooza, it's a separate channel where we do car stuff. On my main Hank Strange channel, I have that thing. I cannot upload a video where I don't get that, right? So every video I have to tell them, is it firearms content, is whatever. The only thing I could see that I'm guilty of is firearms content, right?
Right.
But maybe you're saying there's other things. Now, on the Stranger Palooza, in the beginning, there was nothing like that. I was just putting up car videos, and they never asked me. Now I notice they started asking me.
Yeah.
So maybe that went to everyone now on YouTube.
It's a certain number of subscribers, actually, that gets the self monetization.
Okay, so I must have hit that. Yeah.
You must have hit it on the channel. I know, like, my friend Rob from Cherry City Guns and Outdoors, or Cherry City Guns and Ammo, he has 2,000 subscribers. He can't do it.
Yeah. Lola says exactly how do you mark a video yellow? Same question as Josh.
Right. So when you get into the firearms content, it gives you three choices, right? It gives you guns while hunting or in a safe environment like a shooting range. If you click that one, it'll be green if they agree with you, right? Then it has another one showing modification of guns or something like that, and it's the middle one, and it's yellow, and then it has one that's like really bad that none of us do, and that one would be automatically demonetized, all right? Like showing like how to build a gun or whatever.
I didn't know that the first one was green, so that makes sense.
The first one's green, the second one's yellow, the third one is not monetized at all. And if you go mark a video yellow, like here's a video I marked yellow, for example. I had a lot of reloading in it, okay, because I'm an avid reloader. And I pulled a Fort Scott Munitions Tui bullet that I bought off the shelf. I pulled them out of 7mm 08, 120 grain solid copper, and loaded them with a max charge in 7mm Remington Magnum. Okay, and I have an extra long 26-inch barrel, so that bullet was getting darn near 3,600 feet per second. All right, so I said, "Will this penetrate armor?" So I did a lot of hand loading in the video and talked about what I did with the hand loading. And then I'm trying to purposely destroy body armor, trying to make ammo to purposely destroy body armor. I marked that one yellow myself, right? I didn't ask for a manual review. I didn't do anything because that one is kind of borderline, all right? And, spoiler alert, if you want to know whether or not it went through the video. Well, no, spoiler alert. If you want to know whether or not it got the video. But it was definitely something I marked yellow because I got a picture of black tip 30-06, and on my meme it says armor piercing 7mm Remington Magnum ? And that's a video that I would mark yellow because maybe to me it's freedom of speech. I want it to be make.
No,
money,
I understand what you're
wrong.
saying, but you're saying the trick is to just rat yourself out on a couple of videos. And then get whatever they're like. They want to know that you are self-flatulating. No, wait, hold on. Is that the right thing?
Yes.
No, wait a second. Yeah, but they want to know you're whipping yourself.
Pretty much. And once you get that percentage above about 40%, as long as you know you're at a safe shooting range, and as long as you know you're handling all weapons safely, and you're not selling guns. Once you know that you're at that point, then you can start marking them green, and they'll usually stay green. You'll start marking the first one green.
Okay, so the algorithm stops. So I think I might understand this a little bit, maybe. So what happens is if you drop below a certain score, you are getting the full attention of the algorithm. If you properly flog yourself and just whip yourself into total submission enough, the algorithm goes, okay, he's learned his lesson.
Yeah, pretty much. That's how it works.
Yeah,
I mean, that makes sense, I guess.
Yeah,
but
it does.
The thing that it says is like the first one is like, oh, you're handling firearms in a safe manner at a range. Like, I'm like, yes, that's what we're doing. And then the second one says, I guess that would be yellow. It says, you're manufacturing all this stuff. And I'm like, no, we're not doing that. So I never clicked that one because in that, we're not really doing that. I'm always doing the stuff in the first one. We're just shooting guns at a range. So that's the reason why I click it. Yeah. But I guess no matter what, they're going to put it on yellow if it has anything to do with firearms. So you might as well just go ahead and hit the yellow
once you get that score. Look, I think what Chuck is saying makes a lot of sense. But once you get to this, the way all of this is working is an algorithm. YouTube, there's so many people uploading videos. YouTube does not want a person looking at you. So one thing I did learn, now there's guys out there who are breaking all the, I don't know if I should say breaking all the rules. They're doing what any normal red-blooded American gun guy is going to do, and they're not getting into anything, right? They're able to get their videos out there. It seems like there's nothing in the way. But I think those guys probably have some consultants. They have some different mechanisms going, and that's how that's working for them. But for the most part, a lot of us fall into this category where we're putting up stuff now and we're getting hit. And I think the reason is that we've got a certain score, and then what it's doing is hitting everything. Now, I know that Brandon Herrera said don't contest anything with them.
Yeah, I've heard that too. He told me that when we were at, I think we were at the Gundies actually. And he was like, do not ask for a review, because if you ask for a review, they're automatically going to do it in their next like 3 or 4 videos. Yeah,
and he did a video about that. I think when he got something deleted, like one of the meme videos got deleted, and Brandon made that video, and I kept telling everyone, look at what Brandon's saying here. This makes a lot of sense. Stop complaining to these guys because they're going to pay attention to you. Now, I could tell you this happened to Babyface P. He actually, his channel was getting, he was doing pretty good, started up, and there's one video that all of a sudden hit 1 million views, then 2 million views, 3 million views, but it was demonetized or limited, we should say, right? Limited. That's because that's what they're doing. But that really means there's no monetization on it. Right, but that video still kept going. It took off, right? But the thing was, I think that he kept thinking every time when he saw it go to 2 million and 3 million, he kept thinking, oh, I'm losing all this, this monetization. And I said, please, whatever you do not complain to these guys and ask them to take a look at it. He couldn't resist. I
usually just end up just taking the limited and just running with it. I just throw it up.
That's what you should do, especially if it takes off. But here's the thing. he put in the request to them. They looked at it. They confirmed the fact that it was limited, and after that, the video dropped. Like it just fell off a cliff.
If they confirm it's limited, your video will normally drop. I've had one confirmed limited that actually kept going to 100,000 views, which is pretty good for my channel. The rest of them were like dead in the water at 22,000 views. You know, and if you mark it limited, but here's what I'm telling you: if they mark it limited, delete the video, re-upload it, change a few things. You mark it limited yourself, and that way it'll take off and it'll help your percentage. All right. Okay. Now here's with the new YouTube update on their website, they don't tell you your percentage anymore. They just tell you if it's good or bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen a thing where it says it says be careful. You have selected the wrong thing a couple of times or whatever.
Yeah, because you've got that score. So I think from what Chuck is saying, you need to bring that score down. And so here's the thing. So everyone's got different strategies on this. I think that what we've been doing is like you just said, with as many subscribers as we have, those like even if the video's green, we have a tough time getting that video over 2,000 views. Yeah. So even if the video
our views have dropped tremendously. Like I mean,
Me too.
It's crazy how low they've actually went. It's nuts.
It's very rare that we manage to push something through and then we could do that. Now I know I've spoken to Tactical Toolbox. He just makes all his videos. He takes off monetization altogether. If you do that, if you take that off, you have to have other mechanisms to get those videos out there and get eyeballs on it, right? Yeah. And I think that he has some kind of system and different things obviously set up to do that where, you know, like maybe he's using his website, an email list, all those kind of things can help. The real thing that's happening here is that when you put up a video within 24 to 48 hours, its performance controls what happens to it. If it takes off and escapes from gravity, then it'll probably do relatively well. But if it can't get over that 2,000 mark real quick, it's no matter how big your channel is, it's not going to go anywhere unless you have some other mechanism to get people to look at the videos.
And one thing I was wondering about. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Well, we were talking about off air the community post, and I use my community post almost daily, sometimes twice a day. It's got to annoy some of my viewers, but and subscribers, but I use it to share other people's videos. We were talking about that as well. I think me, Mr. Big Kid, and Rob from Cherry City Guns and Outdoors, and Alvin from Modern Mountain Man, and Chook from Chook's Outdoor Adventures here in Alaska. We share, I'm forgetting somebody, Pat, Real Man and Genius. We were sharing each other's videos for a while, and a couple of viewers caught us because they're subscribed to all of us, but we were sharing and it was actually taking a video that had stalled out and, you know, bumping it up maybe 500 views that day. Because I mean, we had people who had everywhere from 1,000 subscribers to 60,000 subscribers in this, right? Yeah. And it would bump up to 500 views in that day, but then it would trend better for the next week and a half.
Yeah. We should. Well. So, I think one of the things, I think more people should do that. I think it's probably a good idea for more folks to try to do something like that.
What do you think about doing the shorts?
Huh? The shorts?
Yeah.
So here's what's going on with the community tab and even the shorts. Basically, what's happening with YouTube is trying to compete with other platforms out there. So the shorts is
TikTok
YouTube,
and Instagram has started doing those things.
Yeah, so they're trying to compete with the TikTok and Instagram. So if you this is the way that it is, right? They can pull switches and turn things on and off. So because they want us, and part of what's happening to us is happening to everyone else. I don't think completely, because I'm telling you guys, on the car side, I don't see a lot of this. But I think that they're hitting switches because they're trying to make folks use the shorts thing. So if you use it, then the algorithm goes, oh, this person's using it. I haven't done it yet. There are people who are using it, but now requires that you do this whole thing, right? It has to be less than a minute. It has to be vertical video. And if there's a way to figure out how to do that, then that is a thing. If people have that kind of time, it probably is a good thing for them to do. And the same thing with the community tab. They're competing with Facebook, so they want us to engage people on that community tab. And then what happens, because you're doing it, they're like, okay, we'll open up this portal a little bit for you and let you get a little bit more flow going on your channel.
Do you know who the Daniel Accord is on Instagram?
No, Daniel Accord, no.
He's got some cool content, and he does a lot of stuff with the shorts. And I would say probably 80% of his content is the shorts. And his following has grown crazy. And I think it's because those videos are so short that, you know, people's attention spans are so small now that it's basically, you know, they see it real quick and they, you know, like what they see, so they just subscribe. And I think it's really cool that he's starting to do a lot of those. Yeah. And it's starting to take off like that for him. I think it's pretty neat. So I started to do a couple of them, and I've done a couple on YouTube. I've mostly done like the reels on Instagram and stuff like that. But yeah, I started to, whatever I share on Instagram as reels, I try to share it as shorts on YouTube and see how it does.
Have you seen any? Has it made a difference at all, or?
Yeah, I mean, I probably get closer to, you know, the amount of views that I would get in a shorter period of time on those shorts than I do if I was to put up a video that was 11 minutes long or whatever.
Yeah. I think we need to figure out how to do several things. I think probably we should, maybe even here on this podcast, I'm going to try to figure out how to like take what folks are already doing out there with the community tab. Maybe like I start sharing people's stuff on my main channel's community tab and all of that. You know, like we just put things together and people go, or maybe, you know, using this platform, there's not, you know, I know my numbers here have been limited as well for a while, but maybe we could do something like that. We can pick Black Diamond Guns and Gears one day, right? One day we could pick Alaskan Ballistics.
I think that would be cool.
Yeah, and then everyone goes and, you know, like someone puts it on their community tab, then everyone goes there, and because you need to interact on that community tab too. You know, you need to go in there and answer and do things on there. And then things like using an email list, using your social media to share things, you know. And some of what Chuck was talking about, getting your score to go up if you're interested in that. You know, it sucks that we have to do all of this. It sucks. It really does. But I don't see the gun community or the industry or anyone else getting together and picking something and saying, hey, we're going to support this platform out there, and let's all go jump on there. Let's do advertising. Let's look at the videos. Let's post our videos there first. So
yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So I know a lot of people were jumping on Rumble there for a little bit, but I could hardly ever get into it, to be honest with you. Like when I'm trying to find time out of my day, you know, to do my 40-hour job, then to post videos, and also do Instagram, and also do Rumble. Like, it's just, there's so much, man.
There's also Odyssey, which used to be library.tv. But look, it's totally impossible. Right now I'm running 3 channels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
We started up a vlog channel just because I wanted to do something that wasn't, you know, gun related, to see what would happen, kind of like you did with the cars thing. And it's basically, you know, just everything else that I do besides guns. You know, it's, you know, going on vacation, it's, you know, going out to the lake, you know, all this other stuff. And
how is it doing?
I'm hoping that it's okay. I've gotten close to 100 subscribers, and I've only had it up for a couple weeks.
Okay, that's good.
It's going okay.
Yeah. You know, it'll go like that, and then something you'll put on there will take off, and then because you have the other content, it won't have the same effect where the algorithm is deliberately holding your head down underwater.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah. You were going to say something, Chuck. Go ahead.
Yeah, so one of the most important things is, I'm looking at it on my phone right now, is the number of impressions. And, you know, you can see mine's going down, and, you know, it says 1,977,539 impressions. Whether or not that's true or whether or not that's right, I don't know. That's the amount of times, each impression is the amount of time your video is over on the right-hand side when you're watching a video on the computer. Or if you scroll past the comment section, your video's down there to watch, or on the watch next, or on the suggested, anywhere that they post the videos. So they posted my videos almost 2 million times, right? And my click-through rate is 4.6%, which means I'm getting approximately, 2 million. 10% is 200,000. So I'm this is for a 28-day period. Mm-hmm. So I'm getting approximately 100,000 views a month. Mm-hmm. People are clicking on that, right? Mm-hmm. That's across all my videos or whatever. What the sharing of the videos on each other's community tabs does. Mm-hmm.
I see. That's CloverTac. He's reacting to. CloverTac says, "I just stopped by to say that Chuck is the sexiest man alive." Sorry, Josh. CloverTac, you haven't seen Josh with his shirt. If you saw him with his shirt off, you'd know that Josh is the sexiest man alive.
Yeah, not even close. Not even close. But yeah, right. And but anyway, those impressions and that click-through rate, sharing each other's videos helps that impression. Yeah, it puts. So now that Mr. Big Kid or Pat RMG's subscribers, when we share each other's videos, their subscribers are now seeing an impression of my video. We probably have a lot of the same subscribers. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if 80% of my subscribers are over on Pat RMG's channel or Mr. Big Kid's or Chooks or even your channels. 80% of my subscribers are probably there, but they don't always see the notification that they may or may not get. And so what you're doing is you're just adding extra chances for them to do that video. And I share all my videos in Facebook groups. I share all my videos in MeWe and The Jump and Parler, and it helps. One thing that really helps is,
are you still able to get into Parler? I stopped being able to get into that Parler.
Once they got it back up, I was able to get back into it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't actually.
Yeah, I was able to get into mine.
Okay.
Yeah, it took several weeks for them to get it back up. But okay. One other thing that happens if you're sharing it in a Facebook group, go respond to comments in the Facebook group, because then that puts your that back to the top of the Facebook group. Mm-hmm. Okay. So. More people see it. Like if I post a video on 30-06 versus 270, then then I share it in the 270 group. I shared it in the Tika T3X group, and because both rifles were Tika T3Xs. I shared it in the 30-06 group. Well, I go into each of those groups and I hit on Facebook my search history, my group activity, and it shows me. And then I go respond to comments. I don't have to search through the group or anything like that. And I can go respond to comments, hit the like a couple times, maybe change the title a little bit, post it back up, and your video takes off another 150 to 200 views in the next few hours. So it really does help. So
I think that would be cool if everybody started doing the tab thing. I think that's pretty cool.
I don't know if everyone's going to do it, but we should listen. I'll tell you guys. I'll start doing something here on the. On this show, and then I'll take that and share that on Hank Strange, which I think I've got like 116,000 people that follow me over on there. I think for sure we should do it, and the way I believe in doing things is do stuff for people. Don't worry about what you're going to get out of it. Do it, help people, and that's going to come back to you from somewhere, even if it doesn't necessarily
I will definitely, from today on, I will definitely for sure share a video a day that I like.
Yeah, and you know what would be cool? We need to figure out a way, even other than this show, like some kind of group chat or something. Like some kind of group. Yeah, some kind of group text where everyone could be. Because I know for me, I'm telling you guys, it's batshit crazy for me, right? But if it was on a thing and I knew, like, hey guys, today, Alaskan Ballistics, everyone's got to share him today. I will make an effort to do that. And get that done. So if we need to figure out something like that, either an app, maybe Signal or something else, and everyone gets on a group or something in there, and we start doing it. Let me get this comment up from CloverTac while he's here. CloverTac says you should 100% be using the community tab to share related content from other creators. Do it strategic though. Share stuff similar to what you have recently uploaded.
Interesting.
That's from, because I guess you want your audience also to be or you want to find a way of doing it that interests your audience. But ultimately, what ultimately what YouTube is looking for is they want people to participate in the platform just like you would on Facebook, and they want people to participate just like you would on TikTok and stuff like that. And it sucks that they're doing it, but you know,
Right.
I think I want to stay on YouTube and use YouTube as long as possible while we're holding out to find another way to do this. But we don't have another viable way that we're all agreeing on to do this.
Right.
No, absolutely we don't.
If
I
we
mean,
did, I would say, huh?
We either got to all agree on Rumble or Gun Streamer or something.
Yeah. Or most of us, yeah. If it was Rumble and everyone said, look, Hank, because I think I'm already on Rumble, but it doesn't matter. Let's all get on Rumble when we put out our videos before we put it on YouTube for like a week or a month or whatever it is. Everyone put their stuff on Rumble, and then everyone figure out a way to share Rumble and get your audience over to Rumble, even to other people's Rumbles, right? Because if we don't do that, then it's all like totally useless. If we don't get eyeballs over there, it doesn't work. So
I agree. I think that would be really cool.
Yeah, Gen Champ Jr. says you should start a MySpace together. Oh my lord. Yeah, we should figure out. Let's don't let me forget about this. We should definitely do something like this. And I know CloverTac has some other things going on also that he's up to, and he probably has some input on this. But we have to look, if we allow each other and ourselves to all get if we get turned off from all of this and we walk away, then the terrorists win.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, that's the way I feel about it, and there is a way to do this. And there's multiple ways to do this. When I talk to some of the bigger guys, they tell me, look, you should really look at demonetization on YouTube as a bonus. And we need to figure out other ways to make money if you're going to do this professionally. And there's nothing, the first thing I would say about that, some people feel like it's a sin for you to say that this is what I do.
Yeah.
And it's not.
It's because they don't understand. They don't understand, like, if they've never been in a situation, they just don't understand it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I know when I got demonetized, who was it? Gorillas and Guns told me about Ivana Link and all the links that you can get stuff through. And so I posted those on my MeWe and on my Jump and places that were free speech safe, and told all my viewers to go over there and check it out. I maybe had 30 or 45 viewers go check it out, and nobody bought anything. So the other thing is like, maybe I'm a horrible salesman, and that's a good possibility. But you got to have audience members who are going to actually go buy things. When I did an Alaskan Ballistics T-shirt, the one I was wearing with the just come try your infringements in the state of Alaska on it at the IP88 thing, I had like 19 people buy, or 19 shirts sold, and
cool.
Guess bought half of them for print. This guy, and so like it was it was like, if we're not going to be able to support the channels through buying stuff, and a lot of people don't want to buy stuff, they just want to see the content, they don't want to buy stuff, then the YouTube advertisement is like the only way that I know of. The ads.
Yeah. This is the thing. Like, I think that when people know that you make money on your channel or whatever, like it's not like it's a big mystery. Like it does happen. You make money off of ads and all that stuff for the most part. Not anymore. But like, I never started this channel thinking, oh, one day I want to be as big as Iraq Veteran 8888. Like, never expected that. I never expected to be at 30, whatever we're at now. Like, it's not. You don't do this expecting to make money at it. Like I said, me and Josh still have 40-hour jobs. Like, we don't do this for money.
Yeah.
We do this because it's our hobby, and people, we would be at the range doing this stuff anyway, so we might as well record it. And that's why we started the channel. We have fun. It just so happens to fall into making money off of certain things. Yeah. Like the Fat Guy holster and that kind of thing. Like, it's just so happens to do that.
Listen, I agree with you, right? Your intention should always be from a natural position, right? I think if your only motivation is the money, then it's difficult to pull you. Even if you don't have all these things in your way, it's difficult to pull yourself through that when you run into the burnout. The people who don't have the things standing against them that we do still suffer from burnout, and the only thing that's going to pull you through that is if you really care about this. However, I also think that if you are constantly delivering content, which is entertainment for people out there, you are deserving of making something for your time, because you can honestly take your time and hang out with your family. I mean,
Sure.
I've been doing this for 8 years. And in that time, that's 8 years where there's time that I have not spent with my kids or my wife,
Sure.
that I don't go on date night with her, or, we
But
don't
what I'm
take
saying is
vacations
that
and stuff like that.
it kind of came to that. It didn't start
Mhm.
out being like that. You didn't start out with 100,000 subscribers. You know what I'm saying?
No,
Like
no.
it
But
started out small and just so happened to grow into that to where
yeah.
you happen to start making money off of it. And then if
Mhm.
you decide to do it as a full-time job, that's great. Like if
Mhm.
you can make that as a full-time job, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Who would not want to
I was
do
always
what
deliberate
they like
about.
to do as a
Right.
job?
Yes, I was always deliberate about what I'm doing here. I'm a creative person. That's what I do for a living. So
Yeah.
unlike you guys that have a job, when I started doing this, I did not have a job. Instead of starting another business, because I don't want to work for anyone, right?
Yeah.
So instead of starting some other business, I said, I'm going to do this because I'm genuinely into this. I'm genuinely into guns, and I want to share my journey with this whole gun thing with people. And I started doing this. There's other things that I could have done, or anywhere along the way said, okay, I'm going to drop it. It's passion that keeps me going. I mean, right now,
Sure.
for example, this channel that we're talking on here, the monetization for this is, if we're lucky, $100 every month. That's what it
Yeah.
is. Okay? And then on the main channel that we've got 116,000 people subscribers on that channel. It's, I don't know, $600-700 a month, literally, seriously. It's not,
Yeah.
it's not. Someone might think, oh, you're making tens of thousands of dollars every. If that was the case, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. But I think
Yeah.
if you consistently do stuff like this and deliver for people entertainment, information, whatever it is, why? Like, I spend money with Amazon Prime, with Netflix, right? I do that, they entertain me, they get the money. If we're entertaining people and fighting for people and giving people information, why shouldn't we also have a way that we could take care of our families? And here's why I'm
I agree
saying
with
it.
that.
In the gun world, a lot of folks out there in the gun world believe that if you do this thing that we're doing, you have to be some kind of monk. They're not
Yeah.
worried if you've got $1 million or $10 million worth of guns, but they think if they see you with a Rolex, shame on you that you have a Rolex,
Yeah.
or you have a nice house, or you drive a nice car, you bastard.
Yeah.
And that's, I can't believe that there's people in a community like this that are supposed to, like, the folks inside of this are supposed to believe in the Constitution and America and capitalism, and the American way. And then I can't believe those same people think, oh, these guys who are entertaining me and standing up for me and fighting for me and making me aware of things that are going on, screw those guys. Those bastards need to be broke ass.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I don't understand that mentality either.
let me speak to a comment I had a couple of weeks ago, and then let me speak to the opposite of that too. Like I had when I got demonetized and I got remonetized, I told everybody I got remonetized because I didn't want to be dishonest about it. Some people let it slip. Oh, you got remonetized, so that they can keep getting the Patreon money and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing I did was contact all 4 Patreons that joined at like a $4 a month level, or a $1 a month level, or a $5 a month level. I got 2 $4 a month, 1 $5 a month, and 1 $1 a month during my little week of demonetization.
Mm-hmm.
I contacted those 4 people first and say, hey, look, you were supporting me because of the demonetization. I really appreciate that. They did remonetize my channel. And so if you need to back off, I totally understand. No harm, no foul. To a T, every one of them said, no, we want to keep supporting you. And one I knew was going to be a financial struggle for.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think
so,
it's a financial thing for lots of people who support us, man.
sure,
Because they're not just supporting you; they're supporting multiple people. And at the end of the
absolutely.
day, that's some money. But they probably look at it like, hey, I could spend this $50 a month on Netflix or Amazon or any of those things.
You know how many
But this
times
is
I
what I'm.
get a message that says, "Man, I'd really like to know when you're going to do a meet and greet, or I'd really like to know when you're going to be in town because I'd love to hang out with you and go shoot some guns or have a
Hmm.
beer or whatever."
Hmm.
So there's people that actually want to support you because they like your
Hmm.
content and because they think that they would get along with you,
Yeah.
which you probably would get along with most of them for the guys
Yeah.
that watch your channel.
Yeah.
It's you got those haters out there that just want to specifically hate on people for doing good.
Hmm.
And that's where you get the people that are just like, oh, you shouldn't be making money. Well, you're a
Yeah.
shill.
Yeah.
I've never shilled a
Also,
product in my life, man.
I think there's a one. I think it's good that Alaskan that Chuck that you said that you do that, and I think we should all be honest with all the people out there, even including the people that don't like. If people don't have to give you money for you to be honest with them.
Yeah.
Right.
I try to be honest with everyone and do full disclosure stuff, right? I'm not going to say that I tell people everything because I don't know if people care about everything. But if someone
Yeah.
asks me, I explain stuff to them, and I think we should be open and honest. I don't put a high pressure on anyone to support me on Patreon. We have one. Even I've spoken to people there, and they're like, dude, just do your thing. You don't need to talk to us all the time. You don't need to do a whole bunch of stuff.
Speaking
And
of
I,
that, I had a Patreon and I never used it. And so I cut mine off. And I felt bad because I was like, we never did anything on here. Kind of like what you're saying. Like I never did anything on Patreon, even though my intentions were to do it when I started it.
I don't think
And I was just like,
everyone cares. Now, if you do talk to your patrons all the time, I think you do better. And if that's your model of what you're doing, and I think there's guys out there that are doing that their model is more Patreon than monetization money, and they talk to those people and they're like, hey, can we do this, can we do that, what do you guys think about this thing?
Yeah.
I believe in multiple revenue sources, so we have people
Sure.
that sponsor stuff, we do affiliate things, we try to sell things if we can. I have a freaking FFL and a SOT. I do all kinds of different things to make sure. I even have a separate channel that we're doing the car stuff, and there's money from that's paying bills over here. I try to do all these different things to keep everything going at the end of the day, and I try to be honest and open with everyone on it, because I think there's like a weird thing going on where there are some people who are pretending to be broke, and there's just weird stuff that's happening, and that's what's making everyone out there get twisted, because there's not like a true sense of honesty. Because look, if you create really good content for me and you do really good things, I want you to have all the money in the world. You should be a multi-millionaire. There are lots of guys, and I'm not talking about me. There's guys in this gun community that do a lot of stuff for people, and those guys deserve to be multi-millionaires. Why would you want to be mad at them because they're wealthy? They're busting their asses for you.
Yeah, it comes down to basic jealousy in a lot of ways. Lola typed in the chat, what's the other side of that story? The other side of the story was those same Patreon members defended me and some other ones against this guy who had 5 videos on his channel about he was complaining and cursing me out and stuff like that about the last 3 videos I saw Chuck make were about his Patreon or about his demonetization, and literally it was a 16-second short where I plugged CloverTac and said, hey, I got remonetized, thanks CloverTac, go subscribe to him. And that's literally what I did was a 16-second short, and he got all bent out of shape about the last 3 videos were about demonetization. He forgot my other shorts in that time. I had we were talking about the shorts earlier. When I'm sitting down on my reloading bench at home, once I finish with a load of ammo, I just hold it up in my hand with the phone and the bad lighting and everything and tell everybody what I made. And those get 600-700 views, sometimes 2,000 or 3,000. And it really does help the channel, the shorts. But he forgot that short. He forgot my fishing video that I put out was I went salmon fishing. And there's a lot of that where he didn't see the last 3 videos, or he wouldn't have said something like that. But to a T, all those same members defended me.
Go ahead.
I have a really bad problem if somebody wants to say something to me negative online to just a straight up, fuck you or whatever. Like I have a problem with saying that. Like that's been my mentality my entire life. If you don't like me, then fuck off. Basically, like that's just the way that I am, and I have a lot to do with that in the videos too. And I say it, and I don't say that in all of our videos, but that's the mentality that I have.
Yeah.
If you don't want to watch this channel, by all means, fuck off. Like it's not a.
But dude, there's also professional.
You don't have to.
There's also professional haters in everything, including this thing that we're doing. It's called human beings, and there are professional haters. But the good side of all of this is most of the folks out there. I don't even like calling people out there fans. I personally see people out there as being human beings, right? But
Sure.
and most of those people out there, man, they're happy for us. We're doing something for them. They can. What we're doing here makes it easy for them to get access to people just like them, right? And so they appreciate that. That's most of. I'm going to say at least 80% of the folks out there.
Giving a rib to somebody, like if he's like doing like a funny comment like, I'm making like a fat joke or something. Like I poke fun at myself all the time. Like it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
And if somebody's doing that, not a big deal. I gag along with them, whatever, talk back to them, whatnot.
If it's
but
with
if somebody's
love.
truly like, but if somebody's truly like, you're a piece of shit or whatever, then at that point, I don't care about saving a subscriber or whatever. I block them. I mean, I straight up, I don't need that in my life. Basically, I've never needed that, so that's the reason why I do that.
We need to look. Let me tell you, man. Life already is so tough, right? And if you look at what's happening in the world right now, like everyone can be whatever they want to be and do whatever they want and identify as whatever they want to, except us.
Yeah.
Right? So it's already tough. It's already tough, and we're already isolated in the... Like, a lot of people might look at my stuff and think, oh, this guy just has a whole bunch of friends or whatever. I spend most of my time alone. I don't see Lola. I don't see my kids as much as people may think, and all I'm doing is, like, making videos or editing videos or somehow trying to share videos or working on the next video, and there's not a lot of human beings that I actually I'm telling you, I go weeks sometimes and I do not see anyone other than Lola and my two kids in person. No. Right? So and so if I feel that way, there's lots of people out there who feel that way. And for that reason, I'm not trying to tell anyone to feel sorry for me. But for that reason, we have to take care of each other.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We have to try to hold each other up. Like, we're all going through tough shit. And one of the things, like, I was talking to my barber today, Wednesdays is my haircut day, and he was going through shit like that. He's not even in our realm. There's, like, this is just what it is to be a human being, and this is just part of the struggle. And we should spend most of our energy, if we can, it's human to be a hater and get on all kinds of bullshit, paths. But we should try to spend as much of our energy as we can, if possible, like helping other people. And let me just go to this from something Clover. I've been trying to throw up what Clover is saying, but we're having a great conversation here. Clover Tack says this in regards to us sharing stuff. He says, I'm not usually a downer, but I try to share this share group thing before. More wanted to share than actually shared. My suggestion is every creator should take it upon themselves to help others. And I agree with that. Like, I don't want to do it so people can share my shit. My personal philosophy in life is when you feel like something is lacking for you and you start feeling like other people should do that for you, you know what you do? You do it for other people.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm serious about it. I will be happy. I think we've been doing that for years here, bringing on different content creators. We don't care what the size of people are and all that kind of stuff. There's not, and I do that because I felt like there wasn't anyone else doing it. There were a lot of other people doing what we all do. Go by, let's see. Oh, you're not really big enough to hang with me, or Dude, we can't really do a collaborative.
So many friends that are channels and. Like, I'm personally friends with them, and I, comment on all their videos. I say, first or whatever I can do. I try to comment on everybody's videos. I try to share them as much as possible on Facebook if I can, and I do all that stuff too because I want this to succeed, I'll be honest with you, I was in the music industry for a long time, and I played music and tried to make it playing music or whatever. And then by the time
I feel your
got
pain,
old enough
man.
to realize that, by the time I got old enough to realize that it was not going to happen, or that the industry had changed.
Are all three of us? Do all three of us have musical pasts? Is that a thing?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I played drums
shit.
for 20 years, man.
Oh, okay. I produced music, so I can't play music or anything, but I actually produce like independent hip hop music.
Oh, that's
so
cool.
that's what I was doing before I was doing this. I was making music videos and producing stuff and getting it out there. I was doing like CD Baby and all that type of shit. And then Charles,
That's
Chuck, you're doing that also, right?
I'm a composer. I write music. I write classical music. So I've got written 3 symphonies and.
I think it's a creative mindset, man. Like if you have that creative mindset, that's what I was going to say. I basically played music forever, quit doing music because I realized it wasn't going anywhere with me, even though I still play, and I still play at a couple places, stuff like that. I'm not actively trying to pursue just that. So I took all of my creative energy and put it toward doing YouTube. And then that I think that has to do with everything when it comes to making, your backdrop or your scene or whatever you want to call it. It comes to do with all that stuff. And if you look at our first videos when we were like nothing, I mean, we had nothing on there, and we had like this big ass backdrop that it looked professional, even though we were nothing. We're still nothing.
You guys have always looked incredibly creative to me. I've always said that.
I think that I took that from music to here and applied it, and it just so happened to work. And I think that this is my way of putting my creative outlet out through this versus playing music and stuff.
Yeah, I agree with you. I always tell people I look at this from the point of view of an artist. And what I mean by that is any artist in any art form that you could think of, the most important thing is to be true to your art. Like that it's truly you, that this whatever you're expressing is truly an expression of your soul. It's truly how when you plug into the universe, this is truly what you feel and you believe. And this is, I'm telling you, what I feel about the gun world, what I feel about the Second Amendment, what I feel about America, So for sure, man, I think we're kind of like completely vibing on that. Let me spin this a little bit here, because I know there's some other stuff that I want to get into, but 67 Rebel SST AMC says, speaking of content creators, do you mind if we say hello out in public?
Not at all. In fact, he just moved to Alaska, so I've been inviting him to go do stuff, and hey, we're going to go paddle this lake. Let's go. But so no, come on, man. Yeah. And Josh, by the way, I need a drummer for my band at church. Do you mind coming up? So I'm just saying.
Oh, really?
Alaska, yeah.
Dude, I play at a church, actually.
Oh, cool. Awesome. What do you feel? What's your answer to that, Josh?
To what? Oh, to people saying hey to you? I think it's cool, man. I can talk to anybody, literally anybody. So, and that's just the way I've always been. So, to me, I think it's cool, man. I love getting to know everybody, and when they come out and they're like, "Hey, man, I watch your channel," I'm like, "Dude, that's awesome. Thank you very much." We talk about whatever he's wanting to talk about. I mean, I'm down for it. I like talking to people.
That's my fuel. That's my fuel when people say, "Hey, I watch what you do." I'm like, "What?" And so
I'm surprised all the time. To be honest with you, I'm just like, "Oh man, I can't believe it." Oh, thanks.
And as a matter of fact, I see people sometimes, like even when we were at that IV88 event, I saw people looking at me almost like they want to say something and then they didn't say something, and I'm like, "Don't do that." Just I mean, I honestly, it makes me. That's why I would go to something like that. I want to see that there's human beings out there that care about what I do. That's actually, believe this or not, more important than the money. That is my motivation of why I keep doing it, because I know that there's folks out there who look at it and who appreciate it. So please, if you ever see me somewhere, say what's up. To be honest with you, my number is out there. I have a number that people can reach me on. You can always talk to me on different social media and stuff like that. I never have a problem with it. I know there's some people who do have a problem with all that, but I would say I don't. Josh doesn't look like he does.
I answer everybody's message, man. Like if they message me on Instagram, which is most of the time where I see people at, they'll message me on Instagram. They message me on Facebook. I usually answer everybody, just to fill out the conversation first of all.
Mhm.
And then, of course, if it's going crazy, then I'm just like, whatever. But for the most part, I have conversations with people. I mean, I don't have a problem talking to people at all.
Yeah, go ahead, Chuck. I think you wanted to say something there.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say that I love it when people come up to me, but I am much more comfortable public speaking than I am speaking to one person one on one. So I'm like the opposite of most people. Most people don't want to get up there and say something in front of a lot of people. I'm like, give me that. Don't make me go talk to that girl across the room. Don't make me go talk to that people over there.
No, I'm very shy when it comes to the ladies. I cannot talk to the ladies. That's my one.
I just don't want to die. So I just stay away from it.
The great thing is, so Lola thinks it's funny. There are more dudes like that, and I'm not complaining about this at all. But it's only dudes. There's not, I don't know about you guys, but for me, there's no folks out there who are fans of what I do. I don't run into the women. I know there's a couple of women on this podcast in the chat, but it's usually
the only women I talk to are the people that are actually doing the same thing that we're doing. Like I talk to the Clash Queen, and stuff like that. Like she's cool, and everybody else. Like it's the girls that are actually into the content. Yeah, that they're doing the same thing. That's the only women. I've never had a girl or a woman come up to me about, hey, I watch your channel. That's never happened.
So one time, this happened to me a couple of weeks ago. It had nothing to do with the gun world. It had to do with the van stuff. So I went somewhere. I was at the place where I bought my van because I do videos there, right? Those guys are really cool with me, and they let me come there and do videos, which is amazing. So I was over there, and this beautiful woman comes out of nowhere and starts talking to me, and I'm like, what's happening? And it turns out that she's the wife of the guy who owns the place, and she was like, oh, I look at your stuff, I just want to tell you. So later on, when I saw him and her, and I was like, listen, she was trying to talk to me, and I was in so much shock that there was a woman who looks at my channel that I didn't even, and she was just laughing. She was like, yeah, I was wondering what's wrong with you. And I was like, I'm just in shock. I was like, why is there a woman
The only reason a woman might look at our channel is if she just so happens to glance by when her husband or boyfriend's looking at it.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's so yeah.
Well, I've actually had women tell me thank you for a video because it was an older, badder video with worse cameras, but my girlfriend at the time, now my wife, was picking between whether she liked the 43X, the Shield, or the 43 better. And so I put a woman's perspective out there, and she did all the talking on the video and all the shooting, and I did most of the filming, which I actually enjoyed better.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I've had a couple of people, when I worked at Cabela's, they would go, hey, I saw your wife's video on that, and it might have been after our conversation started, and I said, hey, yeah, I do Alaskan Ballistics. Oh, yeah, I saw your wife's video on this. Thank you. It was sometimes women, sometimes men, but there was two in specific. Oh yeah, I saw your wife's video on that. Thanks for that, by the way.
Yeah, I think that's the same thing with Lola. Whenever I do videos with Lola, people love that. Appalachian Gunrunner says this. He says, I try to comment on a lot of 2A videos, even if I have nothing to say. I leave thumbs up, bell signal. Yeah. He says, hashtag beat the algorithm. And it's so true. Appalachian Gunrunner, in one day, I did like 3 different things. So I did a live video about my van stuff. Appalachian Gunrunner was on there. I did the podcast here. Appalachian Gunrunner was on it. And then I jumped on DLD After Dark, and he was on there. I was like, wow, this guy's no joke. So that means a lot to me. And I always tell people, you don't have to give us money to help us. You can help us just by commenting, by sharing stuff. Like, there's so many different ways that you can help us, and that's a big help. So much appreciation to Appalachian Gunrunner for that, and all the other people who do it. There's a lot of people who always comment on my stuff, no matter where I put it. So, and by the way, there's a lot of people in the van world that are like, where did this guy Hank Strange come from? And why does he have people following? Guess what? It's the gun dudes. The gun dudes are helping me on the algorithm. That's my secret.
My classical music channel, like a bunch of people from my church love it and subscribed, but all the comments are from the gun channel people. Like I never really get any comments at all from people that are more refined than us gun people, if you will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But actually, all the people at my church are gun people too. But
Yeah.
anyway, all the gun people comment on my my string quartets and my symphonies and stuff like that, and it's awesome. They prop it up. They want to support you
What
and
is
what you
your
do.
What is your classical channel?
Mm-hmm.
My last name is Bost, Bost, and it's called Bost Custom Music Writing. It's
Oh,
I
okay.
write lullabies and weddings and stuff like that as well. I write
That's
a
cool.
lot of new infant lullabies on cello and piano and stuff like that.
Oh, sweet.
And
I'm
Okay.
trying to do a vlog about me playing, and I think I'm gonna start doing like covers and stuff like that, to where I can throw them up there on the vlog channel too. It's called Josh Vlogging.
Oh,
I couldn't
cool.
think of another name for it, so that's what it is.
Yeah. You know what I want to do?
Yeah.
I want to do a dad rap band. Come on, who wants to be down?
there you
Yeah.
go. There you go.
Yeah.
I like it. I'm in.
That would be so. I've actually put. I don't know if it's still on my main channel. I actually did a rap song on my channel a while
Really?
ago. Yes, I did the 10 gun commandments. It's called. I don't know if it's still.
Nice.
I would have to look on Hank Strange and see if it's still there. You hear me, and I put the different ones in there, but it's from the 10 Crack Commandments. If you've ever heard that from Biggie Smalls, 10 Crack
Yeah.
Commandments. Yeah, I
Yeah.
did the 10 Gun Commandments. It was a while ago. I love that kind of stuff. There's a 3D version of me on my channel somewhere.
That's awesome.
I did a video with a 3D version of me because I'm really into that kind of stuff. I always wanted to make movies, and I would like to do a few animated movies as well. So like my
That'd be
kids
cool.
are too old now to look at the like the animated Disney stuff, and I still look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There you go.
yeah.
I can tell you
Love
one
it.
thing: music videos are so much harder to edit than regular gun videos. It's not even funny. And
I've
the two
actually
music
done a couple of videos.
Huh?
Yeah. The two music songs I've done on my gun channel are so hard because I had clips from like Clover Tack and, Pat RMG always eats a box of ammo whenever I make a song. That's his tradition. He has to eat a box of ammo. And so whenever I do a song, I'm gonna do one for Pat. I'm actually gonna make one about Pat because he's called Pat Real Man of Genius. And he has all these, Henry X's and Marlin 1894s, but he's tacticaled up, and he has like handguards and stuff, right? You've probably shot him, Josh. And anyway, he has all that. So I'm going to make a Bud Light Real Man of Genius for Pat Real Man of Genius, Pat RMG. And it's going to be called Mr. Tactical Lever Action Guy. It's like, so when you're
That's
assault weapon
awesome.
in his band, remember you have an assault weapon in the 1890s.
Yeah.
The Buffalo attack, you'll be free,
Yeah, by the way, I see CMMG out there. Shout out. It's tricky. It says it's tricky to keep up with all of you sometimes, though. Yeah, don't worry about it. You don't have to feel guilty about that. I don't expect everyone to keep up with me all the time. Yes, there's a lot of us doing this, which is a good thing, I think. So, shout out to see who is that from CMMG. I think we're having.
Oh no,
CMMG.
Mike just texted me a second ago.
I think it is Mike. Yeah.
But I don't think he runs their social media anymore. I know he has their YouTube channel, but I don't know if he runs it.
Okay. Yeah, because I know we're gonna have CMMG on the show sometime soon. I think we should have already had them, but there was like a scheduling situation. So everyone say hi to whoever it is from CMMG that's out there in the chat.
I think they have a girl running their Instagram now. I can't remember her name though,
Yeah, I don't.
because I thought it was Mike when I was talking
Yeah,
to him.
isn't Mike the one with the big beard?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think that's Mike out there. I think that's Mike.
he's on it. But when I was talking to him on Instagram, before I got a hold of Mike and stuff like that, I asked him if it was still Mike running it, and she said no, it wasn't. It was somebody else.
Oh no, but I've seen him doing videos on the YouTube channel, so he can let us know. Because I know I saw him the other day do a good video on his YouTube channel talking about all the stuff going on with the pistol braces and things like that. So, and I know it's tough. There's manufacturers who don't want to wade into that and don't do it at all. But I appreciate when there are folks who do it, because I realize the risks that folks take, right? Because if they start going after manufacturers, it could be a lot more damaging than it is to us. It looks like it is Mike out there. He says It's me. He's
Oh,
going to be
good,
on
okay.
on the 14th. So awesome. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Look
I
forward
just want
to.
to thank them. They're going to put me on the list to get that CMMG Banshee, I think, to use it as
Oh
a
boy.
paired defense gun, the 10mm paired defense gun. So,
Yeah.
uh,
Here
as
comes
soon
all
as
the requests from the CMMG.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, I've already talked to him about
Mike is gone now.
it.
No, I'm sure he's still out there. I see Elfster's Rifles and Reloading out there as well. He says hello, my friends, just logging in. So, you know, and then yeah. Listen, you know, as much as that there are definitely complaints about this whole thing, I'm glad that I did this.
Mhm.
I don't regret it. I don't know where you guys are at on that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. I am 100%, and I won't stop.
Hmm. Yeah, they're gonna have to kick me out.
kicking and screaming.
Yeah. You know, and
Yeah.
people have told me for a long time, oh, you should just, even YouTube. There was a time where I actually spoke to YouTube, by the way. There was a time, like, YouTube has a development program. So, especially when you start YouTube and you start growing, they'll start talking to people out there. And they did that with me at one point. And they even invited me to an event that they had in Atlanta, because there's there's a headquarters for YouTube in Atlanta where you can actually go and make YouTube videos and all that if you have a channel.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But the thing is they didn't, like, the more they actually met me and saw that I was a gun guy, the less they liked that. And they used to say, maybe you should do like 20% the gun thing and 80% any other thing. So
You should 20% suck it.
yeah, I can't do it. I can't get away from guns, man. Even if something else kicks off and I make all the money in the world, I'm still going to be buying guns, because I'm now on my list is an F-15 and a nuclear missile. I'm going to try to get.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
If they
They're
become
sold
available,
out.
I'll try to get one.
Yeah. If I could 3D print a nuclear missile, I'm all about it.
My favorite meme from that whole thing, though, and maybe it's just because I'm a science nerd too, but it's called Schrodinger's gun, and it has a picture of an AR-15. It says Schrodinger's gun, like Schrodinger's cat from physics,
Mm-hmm.
and it's simultaneously a weapon of war and something you cannot beat the government with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see here. So, okay, listen, before we forget about this, we should get into this. Josh, I know you had a story to tell us from a long time ago. Do you feel like
Yeah.
like what's
Yeah,
going
I can
on
get
with
into
your
that.
range and everything? Yeah, let's get into that before we run out of time here.
So basically, we have not been using our range, and we haven't been using it for almost a year, since October last year, actually. So I live in a Second Amendment sanctuary city in Tennessee, and now that the state is actually a Second Amendment state, I live in a county where it's very, very pro 2A. Most people here are very pro 2A. Of course, you've had some people that are come down from other places that don't agree with it. But for the most part, we shot out here before I even, like, we have a family property that's like 8 acres. So it's a lot of land out here, like in farmland. And our neighbor that is across the hill, she has 20 acres on the other side. And the way that long story short, we are getting sued for shooting on our own property. Now, we've been shooting out here before we were even filming out here. Filming out here was just a byproduct of having a private range.
Yeah, I think even before you had a house over there, right? You guys were shooting out
absolutely.
there, right?
The reason why I built this range over here is because I wanted to have my own private range that I could shoot at my house that I built here, around the range. By the way, I built the house after I built the range. So,
just as you should.
Yeah, exactly. So I probably spent $10,000 of my own money building this range, making it as safe as possible, and you can see it in our other videos. It has a huge backdrop. I mean, not a backdrop, a berm. It's got like a 15-foot tall berm that is dug into a hill and then dirt on top of it. Like it's a massive berm. We make it as safe as possible. So my neighbor put up with it for a year, and then she just decided she didn't like it. And it was mainly, I think, a control issue, but that's, my opinion. Because she's shown other things other than what she's doing now. And for the most part, she's suing me for shooting on my own property. And the only thing that she's alleged is that we are running a commercial business because I have a business license for YouTube and all that stuff. She's alleging that I am running a commercial range on my property that is not a commercial licensed area. And so, we've talked to the, zoning commission. He agrees with us. It's not a commercial range. And so we're basically protected by this Range Protection Act that went into place in 2004, which is, 15, 20 years before I even decided to put a range here. And in 2004, they put in a Range Protection Act, which basically says that anybody in the county that we live in can shoot on their own property, no matter how big the size of property is or whatever, as long as they're doing it safely. And it covers everything unless you are a commercial range or unless you, do physical harm to somebody. So because we're not a commercial range, we are protected by that Range Protection Act. Well, COVID has basically held us out of court, and we haven't been able to get back into court to fight it yet. So we haven't shot out here for an entire year, almost. And in the state of Tennessee, nobody's ever been sued for shooting on their own property. They've been sued for shooting on other people's property, but we're on our own property. So nobody's ever done that before. So there's no precedent set. So basically, there's no law or no judgment for them to look at and say, yeah, this was done before, this is okay or whatever. So I'm basically the guinea pig, and because this had never been done before, I'm the person that's fitting the bill for this. And I'll tell you this right now, with my attorneys and what we've done, if every one of my subscribers would donate $1, we would put a dent in the bill that I have for what I have going on right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
basically, I put up a GoFundMe.
Yeah, I think I just put the wrong link up there. I'm going to get rid of that and put the... Yeah, I was trying to work on getting the GoFundMe link up there. I'll get it up here
I'm hoping
in a second.
that, some people will be like, look, basically, if I was to be like, no, I'm not going to fight this. I'm not going to shoot out here. You win. Then that sets precedent for everybody around me in this county and the state and everywhere, that any state that has gun laws like we do, and that this has never happened to before. So if I was to just give up on this and let this happen and not do this, not go to court for this, that puts anybody in danger of saying, well, their neighbor's saying, I don't like what he's doing. I'm taking you to court over it. And I can win because this lady won against Josh and Black Diamond or whatever. So basically, I'm fighting this thing to the end, regardless of whether anybody goes and gives money to a GoFundMe or not. I'm fighting this with my own money and everything to the end.
You have been, right? You've been doing it for some time. You guys have been fighting it, right?
Yeah. I mean, we've been doing it since October.
Okay.
And I've already put 10 grand of my own money into it on top of my bill. But basically, and what if I do get GoFundMe money, which, who knows if I will or not. If I do, that's great. Whatever the amount that I have in there, if I get over the amount that I need to pay the bill off, then I will donate all of that money to FPC and GLA.
Okay.
So I don't make a dime off of it, basically, is what I'm saying.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm gonna try to. It's in the description, I think, already. I'm gonna put it here in the chat for. Let me see. I gotta type this whole thing out. Yeah, sorry.
I don't want to put a GoFundMe out there because I feel like I don't want to be the person that's begging for money, because I'm not begging for money at all. Like I said, I'm going to fight this regardless, and I'll just have to I'll have a big bill, because I'm not giving up my right to shoot on my own property. That is stupid.
No, you 100%. You should 100% fight this, because not only is it going to set a bad precedence for you and where you live, then other people are going to try that nonsense.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. If I don't fight this, and because we have it in the bag, I promise you, we have it in the bag, and we're going to win. Like I said, we're protected by the law that's already in place. So because I know we're going to win, I have to fight this, and I have to see it through. And all the help I can get will be awesome. Like I said, I'm going to fight it regardless. but any help I get from it would be amazing. And like I said, anything over the amount that I have to pay the bills, I will definitely put it toward FPC and GOA.
Yeah, Armin and Axis says people that moved in next to our range that was there for almost 40 years bitched and got it shut down. A similar thing happened to Aries in Leesburg. They were able to get their range going, but the neighbors tried to shut it down. There's none of that. It shouldn't apply to you. You have the right to shoot in your own property.
Well, we're in the county. In our county, like I said,
Mm-hmm.
we have certain county guidelines. And we have a Range Protection Act that protects us from any kind of noise nuisance or anything like that. It's protected under this Range Protection Act. So we are going to win. It's just getting into court to prove it.
Yeah.
And
the end is near beware says, is that East Tennessee that you're in? Sorry.
Yes, it's East Tennessee, yeah.
Yeah. Tactical Pineapple says, text me that GoFundMe. It's going everywhere I could put it to put it out. Yeah, and we're putting it's in the description of this video. And I'll try to put some do something else with it. Did you want to comment on this, Chuck? Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of people talking in the chat about how their range got shut down, and it is a totally different situation, and but I was talking with Cherry City Guns and Ammo, and I mentioned him earlier, is that his range, when the neighborhood started moving back in, they started buying the houses as the range. And so they bought all the houses and rented out the houses. And if you tried to sue against the range noise, it was in your contract that you couldn't sue against the range noise. The range owns the house. You could get kicked out of your rental. And so every time a house comes for sale, and there's all sorts of interesting things about that. You should have Cherry City on and get him to talk about it, because he could explain it a lot better than me. But that's just like a power move. And so I would love to see you win this, Josh, and then buy her 20 acres out.
Yeah.
That's the thing my lawyer said. Man, I've been looking for a place.
They're going to have to pay your bills at some point. They're going to have to pay. So when you win this, I don't know. I'm not sure how it works in Tennessee, but I'm assuming it's similar to other places. Like, when you win this thing against them, aren't they somehow held liable for your expenses, even though you have to figure out how to put that up front? Or what's your lawyer saying about that? I've talked to the lawyer
about that before, and he hasn't really gave me a complete answer on it, so I'm not really 100% sure on it.
Yeah, okay. And I know this kind of stuff could be expensive. There's,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If every one of our subscribers were to donate $1, we'd put a dent in it. So, but basically, the lawyer that I have, his name is Kyle Baisley. And honestly, if you don't feel comfortable giving money to the GoFundMe, if you want to give it to his firm or whatever, that'd be fine too. But I actually don't know the name of the firm. I just know his name is Kyle Baisley. He's the attorney that. Do you know who Reed Hendricks is?
Yes, I do. He's a very good friend of mine.
So Valor, right? Valor Ridge was in a big thing, and they had a big thing where all their neighbors kind of tried to go against them, right? He was their attorney.
Awesome.
And he won that lawsuit. So that's the guy that I have fighting with me and mine. So I know that we got it in the bag.
Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to Reed. We've had him on here. He's one of my really good friends, man. I need to go do some training with Reed. Have you ever been up there?
I would love to go up there, man. I've been to Jaeger's class a couple times, and man, I would love to go up there and train with him.
Yeah. He's just a good dude, man. And that place is in such a beautiful part of the world.
It's kind of the same thing. It's almost, we're out in the middle of farmland, man. Like I said, she's got 20 acres on the other side of my property. We're on 8 acres. Like, there's not a lot of people around you. And so the fact that she's just pissed off that we shoot every Saturday, that's all it is. Like, we would,
and you said that I think
40-hour jobs.
I think you told me that this person also shoots, right? Do they also
she has admitted to shooting herself, yeah.
What is wrong? Yeah, by the way, BWE Firearms says he just made a donation. Thank you, Richard of BWE Firearms. That's much appreciated. I know Richard right now is going through his own things. He's got chemo and all that kind of stuff he's going through.
Wow,
so I appreciate him. Yeah, I appreciate him stepping up and helping. And I really would ask everyone who's, just like throw something in there and help these guys. I don't, from my knowledge of Josh and Josh, I think that you guys, like, this is probably painful for you to even come out and ask anyone to help you. Right?
It really is. And like I said, I've known about this since last October, and my lawyer has said, "Won't you just put a video out and tell people what's going on?" I'm like, I've hinted to it on a couple of things, but I don't want it to look like I'm just like, guys, come on, I need this money, because it's not going toward me. It's going toward the fight. And once that fight's over, anything will go to the other fights with GOA and FPC.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's a valid cause, man. Don't feel any way about it. It's valid. You and I we've talked about this a long time ago. So you guys can take it from me. I've had this conversation with Josh. What, Josh? Like 6 months ago?
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, you've been going through this for a while, and just different things happen, and we didn't do it. But I think someone should never be allowed to do this to you. And I think there's
especially
also
on your own property.
Yes.
I can understand if it was somewhere else, but here
in
at
Tennessee,
my own house, and the patron saint of let's shoot stuff in this state. Like, and at my own house on my own property, I put $10,000 into building a range just so I could have fun on my property, because that's what I wanted to do. And she's trying to dictate what I want to do on my own property, and it's not right.
Yeah. We go through things here also sometimes where people try to call we've got a sheriff's department here, and the deputies come out, but I actually know those guys. So that's
the thing. Yeah. I've had those guys come out and look at the range and be like, "Man, this is an awesome range.
I've seen your range. It's good.
Like, come shoot whenever you want." Like, I'm friends with all the guys, and I'm like, "Yeah, come on out, man. Like, not a big deal."
Yeah. It sucks that this is happening. So hopefully maybe I'll be able to take a section out of this and put it up, and maybe we'll get some more people to get involved here. John Tram says they must be from California. Obviously we don't want to get into who those people personally are and stuff like that, so you can make it.
I mean, it's all public record. You can probably find it.
Okay. Yeah. But I'm assuming they're not from California, right?
Basically.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Whoever they are, it's a terrible thing to do when it's pretty obvious that these guys are going out of their way to be safe. And, if it's like this weird corner of your property that you don't even have to go there in the first place. I don't know why do this other than to try to exercise some kind of power over another.
That's all they're trying to basically. And like I said, we've had other situations where other parts of my family live on this 8 acres, and and it's closer to her property than it is mine. And she's basically the neighbor has basically been trying to film us and being like, "You're too loud and you're scaring my horses and stuff," when we're having just family functions. We've rode four-wheelers on this property for a year before we even lived here, before we even put a range here. And at that time, she was like, you can't be doing this over here on this property. You're scaring my horses. And it's like, this is our property. You have 20 acres on the other side. Go do what you want to do over there. I'm not trying to tell you what to do on your property, so don't tell me what to do on mine.
Also, my neighbor has, she's got horses right next door. It's not a problem,
We have animals.
If animals have a problem with loud noises, which I know happens, they can go to another place where there's not the loud. They don't have to be in that corner.
I have cows and goats and donkeys and pigs and stuff over here on our property, and it's closer to my range than her property is.
Yeah,
and they have no problem.
Skivvy Waver is asking this question. Says, if your county has a protection act, how is she allowed to bring suit?
She was claiming that I'm running a commercial range when I'm, in fact, not running a commercial range. It took an affidavit from the zoning commission to say that I wasn't, basically.
Yeah, John Doe says, why didn't a judge just throw the case out?
Because when it came into the court, he didn't want it to look like he wasn't going to see her side, is my opinion on why he didn't. And so basically he wants to hear all sides of it before he makes his decision, even though most of the judges here are very 2A. This guy has been known to be 2A as well. And so I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, meanwhile, the tab is running. Meanwhile, the tab is running for you. What about that?
Yeah, exactly.
Huh. Yeah, that's, I don't know. Yeah. I hope so. Do you have any idea of what a time frame is for this?
Well, I got word the other day that just basically because of COVID, because they had to push everything back and they shut down the courts and all that stuff, they're allowing the stuff to come in there now, but they're taking all the stuff that is important first and not petty, I guess, like this is. And but now I've heard that this is basically ran across the desk and waiting for our attorneys to set a date. So hopefully very soon.
I'm gonna just get a quick look at this before we move on. So here's the GoFundMe right now. I hope that folks will at least like share this if you can. Help these guys out. These are not like YouTubers who are making tens of thousands of dollars at all. These are some hardworking guys, and this is like a pretty tough thing for them to be going through. So I know how it is. If I couldn't shoot on my range for some reason, it would actually have a massive effect on my channel and what I do.
Like I said, this was our private range before we even started doing this. We didn't shoot videos here when we first started our channel. We shot everywhere else, and any place that people would let us shoot, that's where we shot at. So doing this and having this range here at my personal house has nothing to do with the channel. It's cool, and it's a side note that I get to shoot on my own property and record it. But that's all I'm doing. And how this has been going on for the past year, I've been at other people's ranges. So we have other places to shoot. We don't have to shoot here. But the fact is that it's my property. I should be able to do what I want on my property as long as I'm not doing anything to anybody else.
As long as you're being safe, and if there's an act in Tennessee to protect you, I don't know what you think about it, Chuck, but if there's an act to protect you, it's not protecting you if you're having to spend all this money,
Yeah. I think it will protect me as soon as we get into court, though. Okay. I mean, I'm going to have to pay for it. I'm paying for the attorney's fees, basically. But
it sounds like she tried to find a technicality, and so
the
judge is exactly letting the technicality go. But here's my question for you, Josh: are you going to use this incident to get Tennessee to pass a law like Texas did, that any suppressor made in Tennessee, because the NFA is only valid because of the Interstate Commerce Clause, so any suppressor made in Tennessee doesn't have to be NFA approved? Are you going to get? Are you going to use this to launch that? That would be awesome. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Well, they got to get through this first. But
if I could get help to literally pass anything that has to do with Pro 2A anything, I'm down. Now, I think it's really funny that I emailed our governor, and I'm not saying I'm the person that did this, but it's really cool to think that I might be. So I emailed our governor. Probably 3 or 4 months before they decided to have it as a 2A sanctuary state. And I actually specifically asked him, I was like, I know you're putting through the constitutional carry bill, but we would like to see Tennessee as a constitutional, like a Second Amendment sanctuary state. And then they replied back to me and they said, Billy is always going to fight for the rights of Tennesseans and all that stuff. And I was like, yeah, but that's not what I asked you. What I asked you was, we need to see this as a 2A sanctuary state. And then about 3 or 4 months later on, they actually put it into place. So I'm hoping that my email had something to do with that.
By the way, Richard Monder, who he's here in the chat, and he's a dude in England, he put in $50. So I just want to recognize what he did there, and I want to thank him. I don't know if you're aware of who Richard Monder is. That's a guy who's literally in England. He's like a massive fan of America, the Constitution, our whole way of life here, the Second Amendment. He's trying to come to America, and this is not like a dude that has, he's a hardworking guy, man. So big shout out.
I met
to
him
Richard
at
Monder.
NRA. That's how I met him, and he's cool. He's a cool ass dude, man. I like Richard. I talked to him on every one of our videos. He comments on everything. He's a super cool guy. Yeah, man.
I listen. If I knew some gun women that were single, I would try to get them to like marry Richard or something and get him over here. He's that good of a guy. But thanks, Richard. We appreciate that.
Thanks to everybody else that put in there too, man. That's awesome. Yeah. I really appreciate it.
Skivvy Waver
it's
says,
to good use.
Yeah, Skivvy Waver says, did you countersue?
We're talking about it. I haven't done anything yet. I'm trying to get into court to get this fought, and then after that we'll talk about everything else.
Yeah, and Armament and Axis says, has Josh talked to the GOA about any of this?
I've tried to reach out on Twitter, I think, and I haven't talked to Crump about it at all.
Okay.
But I need to. I've talked to U.S. Law Shield, and they're one of our sponsors. And I was like, hey, man, I'm one of your biggest sellers. Like, I've sold a lot of memberships for them because I really believe in the U.S. Law Shield.
Oh, they're awesome,
I was a U.S. Law Shield. I was a U.S. Law Shield member before I even had a YouTube channel. So it was like a no brainer for me to have them as a sponsor, and so I told them, I was like, look, I need you to help me out on this, and they gave me one of their lawyers here in town that is, I mean, free of charge. Now, like I said, the other guy, Kyle Baisley, he is an attorney, and I have him, and that's basically my bill right now. But the U.S. Law Shield is actually and giving me an attorney for free right now. So
okay, cool.
he'll help out with the cost, which is good.
We'll see if we can maybe talk to John or someone else at GOA and see if we can get some other people involved in this somehow. I mean, ultimately,
it would be cool.
This is keeping you guys off the range, right? You guys cannot use your own range.
That's the thing. The judge told me, he was like, I'm not telling you that you cannot shoot at your own property. I know you have the Second Amendment and it's your right, but I am telling you that you can't do the things that you are doing. You can't operate the way you've been operating. And I was like, so I don't know what that means. And he was like, you can go out there and shoot a 22 and a shotgun if you want. He was like, but you can't do the stuff you've been doing. Which, I'm like, we were shooting 9mm and 223. Like we don't ever do anything nuts, If we do anything nuts, we go to Eric's house. So, but so I was just like, you know what? Out of respect for everything that's going on, respect for the judge and everything, I'm just leaving it alone because I got other places I can shoot. So I literally haven't shot at my house in a year.
Yeah. So there's lots of things coming in here. Jen Champ Jr. says, when you win this, Josh, get a big bucket of Tannerite and let that Karen watch the show.
Yeah.
Yes. Chris Rodriguez says 7 a.m. coffee and binary 30-round mag every day.
Absolutely.
It really, it sucks, man. I hate to hear stuff like that. So we'll see. I'm gonna take this out and I'll try to put that up there on my channel. See what we could do. Maybe I'll try to talk to John. He just might not be aware of this right now, or the folks at GOA.
I haven't reached out to him at all. I would like to reach out to him. I just haven't done it yet because I hadn't really got the go ahead to do it. And now that I do have the go ahead to do it, I'm totally down to talk to him and ask what they can do to help.
And honestly, anyone, FPC,
fish to fry.
Yeah, FPC, Second Amendment, like whoever can get on board and help out with that would be awesome.
Yeah, and like I said, all that, if we do have donations and stuff like that, it's all going back to them. So,
yeah. Okay, awesome. All right, so let's see. What else do we want to get into? Is there anything we missed out here, Chuck?
I was going to talk about the lady that wants to replace Lisa Murkowski.
Yes, right. So
Rhino senator.
Yeah. So what's the deal with that?
Well, Lisa Murkowski is a very big Rhino. Okay, so I don't know exactly how she is on guns. I know she is voted wishy-washy. She's probably voting for David Chipman, and then she's not voting against him, and now she's voting against him, and all that stuff. She's been really wishy-washy. The lady that wants to beat her is named Kelly Shabaka, and I actually started talking. I called her campaign office several times to try to get a YouTube interview done, something over that. And she's a really nice lady. I met her at a fundraiser. One of my fellow football coaches is also a big Republican and owns a business, and he is pretty big in the community. So he got me into a fundraiser. I got to talk to her. She's really nice, but she was endorsed by Donald Trump, who is also a Rhino. I have 8.5 trillion reasons why he's a Rhino. If people out there don't get that, I'm sorry. Then they're a Rhino too. But anyway. So she hasn't responded. Like, she talked to me that night. She wants to do it. She's like, well, you have 19,000 subscribers. That's like, that means the people can donate to campaign and stuff like that. I'm like, yeah. And, people people want to see Lisa Murkowski out all across the nation. She's terrible. All right. I mean, she's a Democrat essentially. And like I said, the last time I was on here, there's a 10,000 Facebook group member of Get Lisa Murkowski Out. There's nothing 10,000 in Alaska at all for anything else. But
I mean, there might be 10,000 bears or something.
Something like that, But, for political stuff, there's no other group that has 10,000 members for sure.
Right, yeah.
And not even a lot of other stuff. And, people want Lisa Murkowski out, but my biggest concern is, am I replacing one Rhino with another? And if this lady, she put me in touch with her publicist, she gave an awesome speech that night. She can speak, and pretty good. I got in touch with her publicist. I've been texting her publicist, calling her campaign, emailing her. They won't get back to me. And 19,000 subscribers, and I know at least between 2,000 and 3,000 I know live in Alaska, based on, or not know, but guesstimate, or want to live in Alaska. Several subscribers, like 67 Rebel SST AMC, had just moved up here, and several other subscribers are making plans to retire here. And so, like, I know that there are people that want to do this, and how do I get past that hurdle? Am I worried? And with Trump, who is a rhino, endorsing her over Lisa Murkowski, am I just getting another rhino? Of course, Trump is not as bad a rhino as Lisa Murkowski is, but
right. I mean, there's several things at play. Like, I think that if we want to get rid of Murkowski, that's like the first mission. Do you want to get rid of her and replace her with someone that may be just as bad? Of course not. But you still want those rhinos that are out there right now that are not helping the cause to suffer. At the same time, you have to do some things to kind of like verify where people are if you can. But ultimately, part of this is politics, whether we like it or not. They may not want to deal with us. I think they should. I think that the social media reach that we all have collectively, if these guys came on and talked with us, it could help them. But a lot of Republicans don't want to seem to take advantage of that, where Democrats are willing to do anything and try different things and go talk to other people. So I think it's too bad that Republicans don't feel that way, and they don't take the chances, and they're worried about someone saying they're crazy because they came on and talked to a gun guy or whatever it is. I think they're leaving some resources on the table when they do those kinds of things.
Exactly. And how can you say you support the Second Amendment when you aren't going to support those who support the Second Amendment? It's just.
I was gonna say, I don't think they should worry about it. If you're in a 2A populated place, and those are the people that vote you in, they should be happy to speak to anybody that is pro 2A.
People have to let go of all of that, right? The other side, man, they let go of that thing a long time ago, and that's why they're kicking asses, right?
Yeah.
And so ultimately, we are not. Right? We're not as effective on our side because the folks on our side are not using the resources that they have.
They try to push everything through. We barely ever try to push anything through.
Yeah, they're afraid. I mean, look, if you look at, wasn't Biden showing up on was it Hot 97? He was showing up on all those radio stations, on their YouTube channels and stuff like that, and doing different things. The folks on our side need to use those tactics and stop worrying about stuff. They really, really do. Because the media doesn't give a crap about them. I think a lot of times they're trying to appease the media and have the media not come after them. You know what? I think you would probably get the opposite effect. If the media starts talking bad about you, they're talking about you. That's what actually worked for Trump.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
And my biggest thing is, if she's not going to give me the time of day, then she knows I'm going to ask the tough questions that Republicans don't want to get hit with. Republicans don't want to get hit with the fact that they didn't do a balanced budget in 4 years. All right. When Obama was in office, they passed the balanced budget amendment. I don't know how many, 8 times. It got vetoed every time. All right. As soon as Obama's out of office, they spent $8.5 trillion in new debt against your great grandchildren. I've done the math. If you took a dollar bill for each part of the national debt and you taped them end to end, it would stretch around the orbit of Jupiter 5 times. I mean, that's how much money. And I've done the math on that. I challenge other people, go do the math on that. And it's even more now. It probably might reach Pluto a couple times. But it's just, that's how insanely in depth we are. All right. Yeah. If you try to put every dollar bill in the same spot, it'd create a black hole.
Yeah.
That's actually not factually true, but you know.
What was the name of the woman that was running for Congress from Miami? Her name went out. Hopefully someone will tell me. I don't know if she was in the military before. That's the same woman that it came out the Republican that she was running against threatened her. Did you guys see that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh man, her name
I
is
can't remember her
completely-
name, but I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, someone will tell me her name, but I really wish that she used more of the resources that were out there as well. She could have ridden over a lot of that establishment, Republican establishment, and reached out to a wider audience and maybe taken Miami, whatever sector that was that she was going for. And I think at least locally you can do a lot if you just reach out to the folks who are actually there and get them active. You'd be surprised at, you can get low numbers of people active and win elections.
Yeah, exactly.
And
so
Anna Paulina. Anna Paulina. See? Anna Paulina Luna. Yeah.
Yeah, I wrote in Senator Rand Paul over Trump because I'm not voting for anybody that endorses red flag laws. I don't care if they're Republican or Democrat or anything. That violates the First, Fourth, Second, Eighth, and 14th Amendment. Goes on, right? So, I just won't vote against anybody, but I also don't vote for anybody who isn't pro-life. So, and that's just another issue for another time. But so I couldn't vote the Libertarian in. So I felt like, as a conservative Republican, there was nobody there representing me. I vote on 3 issues: pro-life, pro-gun, and pro-balanced budget. Those are the big 3 things that affect us morally, socially, and financially, right? And those are the big 3 things that are going to bring this nation down, in my opinion. My opinion, totally. I vote on those 3 things as a conservative and a libertarian conservative, right? And I felt like there was nobody in the race that represents me. And the Libertarian had 2 out of 3, Trump had 1 out of 3, and Biden had 0 out of 3. So I didn't vote for any 3 of them.
Did Trump take Alaska?
Trump took Alaska handily, yes.
Yeah.
So.
I voted for Trump. I agree with a lot of what you're saying. Ultimately, that's what I wound up doing. But man, right. I am disappointed in certain things that Trump did. Overall, there were things that I liked about him, but I think that he made a lot of missteps, and I think a lot of that stems out of, to me personally, what happened with the NRA. The NRA just gave him that endorsement and just said, "Oh, these gun guys are on your side." Of course, it's easy for him to go, "Okay, I got the gun guys. I don't have to do anything for them."
Yeah,
so I feel like that's what happened to us.
If you look at Georgia, though, if you look at the percentage Trump lost by and the percentage that the Libertarians actually went up by, everybody wants to talk about the election fraud and stuff like that. Well, if you look at the Libertarians went up by and the percentage that Trump lost by, he lost enough gun guys and enough gun people like me that he lost the election.
So this might be completely inaccurate, but my sense that I'm getting from different people is that Trump really was on our side, but his daughter and her husband were not. And ultimately, his daughter won out of a lot of things. Like, I heard there was some pro-gun stuff he was going to do, and they talked him out of it, at the last minute. They talked him out of doing it because of the elections. And this is what happens when you play the game. I think the first time around, Trump just took, he just gave 0 shits and went out there and did what he had to do. But once he got into the White House, there were a lot of people around him that were talking to him, and even amongst his kids, right? I think probably Eric Trump was more on our side, but he just wasn't getting his dad to listen to him as much as what is it, Ivanka, And if you look at it now, Ivanka is distancing herself from him, along with other people. So this is why in life you take your chances and you do what you need to do, man.
Exactly.
But hey, he didn't do it, so that's on him. Regardless of that, he was the president. He's the 45th president, United States of America. He's gonna get that. He's gonna get that library. He's in history. He's in the history books already. The people who suffered for it are us, and and we're the ones left holding the bag, so to speak, on that. So,
absolutely. So,
yeah.
I'm hoping we get Lisa Murkowski out. I want to make sure that, hey, if this person's not even willing to talk to me, or they know I'm going to, she's an Alaska girl. She should be able to answer the tough questions. You can't be a pansy and live here,
Yeah. Okay. But don't stalk her too much, because that's not going to help your case. I'm just saying.
It's about once a week. About once a week.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm just saying, just to temper it a little bit.
Yeah.
I hopefully you can, sometimes talk to these people on social media, but not in an attacking way.
Sure,
Sometimes you have to
absolutely.
do things or something like, hey, try to do something, see if whether or not they recognize that, or try to say, hey, even just on social media or something, say, what's your stance on this? Get them to go on the record. But I do hope they come off of this like playing politics nonsense.
Yeah.
And worrying about what the media is going to do to them. The more the media talks about you, the better.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, okay, we're running into the 9 o'clock hour here. We should probably start wrapping this up. And I'll give you guys an opportunity to once again share the different things that you guys have going on. A couple of things I want to do. I do want to point everyone back to the fundraiser. Let's see. I'll share it. I'll put it up here so everyone can see. This is the
Actually
fundraiser.
read that because it's been a while since I've read that.
Oh, it says Black Diamond Guns and Gear is a YouTube channel based out of Blount County, Tennessee, where one of the creators, Big Josh, and his wife live on a single acre of their family's 8-acre farm. The guys from Black Diamond shoots videos and gear reviews at a small personal/private range on that acre in Blount County. What's going through my brain? Shooting on your own property is considered a safe, fun, and perfectly legal way to spend time. Well, Josh and Heather have been pulled into a painful, costly litigation process where they're currently fighting for their 2A rights, thanks to the grief from a neighbor over the hill that has a problem with it, and it goes on. So it says you guys have already paid out $10,000 in legal fees in an effort to maintain your right to safely shoot on your own property. So that's that sounds about right. I mean, you might want to take a look at that and update it a little bit if you need to, especially since it's kind of public now. The other thing I want to remind everyone of before we get out of here is that there's no more shows. So there's no show tomorrow or Friday. Obviously not on the weekend, and none on Monday. So I'm taking a little mini vacation.
There you go.
Good.
I'm still going to be working. Don't worry about it.
I went on vacation last week. I went to Clearwater and I met Hulk Hogan.
Oh, you were in Clearwater. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
You know what? You should have checked out Safety Harbor Firearms. They're in Clearwater.
Oh, really?
Yeah. What are you friends with Hulk Hogan, or you just ran into him in Clearwater?
No, I just ran into him.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Safety Harbor Firearms is in Safety Harbor is right. It's like right next door to Clearwater.
Oh, like St. Pete or something?
Yeah, I think I was out I was in that area like 2 weeks ago or something.
That's cool.
Yeah,
I didn't know. I was looking for gun shops too. I was wanting to go shoot some stuff while I was out there.
Yeah, Safety Harbor Firearms makes the 50 BMG upper that you could put on an AR-15 lower and some other stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Next time you're out there, let me know, man. I'll connect you two guys. So we're not doing a show, so be prepared for that. We'll be back probably Tuesday or something like that of next week. All right, let's start with let's start with Alaskan Ballistics. Tell the folks out there how they can support you, or they could find your social media, communicate with you, etc.
Awesome. Well, thanks for having me on, Hank. I really appreciate it. And good to meet you and Lola in Georgia. It was really fun. I run Alaskan Ballistics. We shoot everything we can over a phonograph and see what it actually gets. And we're on our main videos are on YouTube, of course, and then we're on Instagram and Facebook if you really want to get a hold of me. MeWe. We're on the Jump. We're on Parler, and I think that's everything that we're on right now. Odyssey, and so if you want to, and Gunstreamer and the Reloaders Network. I mean, we're on everything that we can actually physically keep up with. And so if you want to check us out, I pretty much run the channel myself, but I do have a camera help guy who's donating ammo and stuff too. So we are on Patreon and all that kind of stuff. So, but we did get remonetized, and thank you to CloverTac for that. And so good discussion about that, Hank. So thanks for having me on.
Oh, awesome. You're welcome. Thanks for coming on. Okay, Big Josh, tell the folks out there how they can find you, support you guys, communicate with you, etc.
Well, I'm just one of the duo. It's me and Small Josh. And basically, we are on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook. You can support us by going to Jack's Tactical and buying the Fat Guy holster. That's our main baby. That's our design. And if you're interested in a fat guy holster, check out the video and you'll understand what it is. That's it, man. And like I said, we are in this battle and we're trying to fight this thing for everybody around us, including ourselves. And any of the proceeds that we get from the GoFundMe will go to FPC and GOA. So I hope you guys just stick in there with us, and yeah, we'll see this thing through.
Absolutely. I want to thank you, both of you guys, for coming on. We're gonna cut into the end, and then we're gonna come back, and someone's gonna hit us with the words of wisdom. So I don't know who's got some words of wisdom on the tongue that they want to leave us with. It's gonna be the 4th of July. I hope everyone is safe and has fun out there. Check this out. I got this from Buc-ee's. If anyone knows about Buc-ee's, America,
That's
America,
sweet,
yeah, America, America, America. There you go. Love it. Okay, I'm gonna rock this over the 4th of July weekend.
Looks good on you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah. And, you know, the funny thing, like, Lola's actually working this 4th of July weekend, believe it or not. But,
oh, no.
Yeah, we'll still, you know, we're still going to be out there enjoying it. So, listen, everyone, stay right there. I'm going to run in the end. We'll be right back. Who's going to leave us with the words of wisdom?
I don't have any.
Okay, so then it's going to be on you, Chuck. Yeah, it's going to be on you, Chuck. Okay, so listen, big shout out to Franklin Armory. Big thanks to them for supporting us. I appreciate all the people who do support us and help us to keep doing this. Let's run in the end. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching, listening. I appreciate you guys. I hope you all have a great 4th of July weekend. Make sure you smash those thumbs ups, ring the bell. We're going to rip the audio out of this and throw it up on iTunes and all your favorite places to listen to the audio. We appreciate people listening to us around America and around the world. I see the numbers going up every day. It's awesome. All right, guys. Well, actually, Chuck, Alaskan Ballistics, what's the words of wisdom?
Just remember that the Second Amendment is your God-given right, not your constitutional given right, and make sure that you protect it and that you do everything you can to fight for it, because government is there to go against God or the Creator or whatever you believe in and not go for it sometimes. So make sure you stand up for it.
Absolutely. Amen to that. Rich Armin and Axis says, "Happy birthday, USA." Absolutely. You know, I appreciate you, all you guys. Big thanks to Big Josh. And what are we calling him? Small Josh? We can't call him Little Josh, right? That's like
you can call him either one, but I call
racist
him
term. Shout out to all the Joshes from Black Diamond Guns and Gear, as well as big thanks to Chuck of Alaskan Ballistics. This was actually a great podcast. I really, really enjoyed this one. I hope that you guys did as well. Yeah. Yes, thanks to everyone. We'll see you guys. We are out of here. Peace. Be good. Be safe.